Okay, so we're diving in something super important in long-term care today, something that can actually make or break a facility.
Yeah.
Referral.
Your furrows, absolutely.
It's not as straightforward as just like finding an open bed, right?
Yeah, not at all.
There's so much more to it. Like these mismatched referrals, they can cause what experts call these hidden costs.
Hmm.
And it goes way beyond just the financial stuff, you know?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, think about it. You have a resident who needs specialized memory care, for example.
Right? Yeah.
And they end up in a facility that's, it's really geared towards physical rehab.
Oh, yeah.
That's a mismatch. And that can really snowball and have an impact on everybody.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And that's what this whole series, this hidden costs series
Right.
that we're looking at today, it's all about. It's all about that. And they explain how putting a resident in the wrong place, in the wrong environment, it can really cause them some, distress, like psychological distress.
Absolutely. Yeah, they could feel lost, isolated,
Oh, yeah.
even frightened,
Right.
And this is going to impact their well-being,
Yeah.
and that can lead to a decline in their overall health.
Yeah, I bet like if you don't feel like you're in the right place, then
Yeah.
you're going to want to leave sooner too, right?
Oh, absolutely. And then when residents leave earlier than planned, you're looking at lower occupancy rates.
Right.
And of course, that impacts the facility's budget, things like staffing, resident activities, all that stuff.
It's a whole domino effect. Yeah. And then on top of all that, the staff. We can't forget the staff in all this, right?
No, absolutely not. I mean, you have to think about the staff who are now trying to manage a resident whose needs don't really align with the facility's expertise.
Right.
That is so much stress, and that leads to burnout and ultimately staff turnover.
Wow. So it's really like this, like you were saying, this downward spiral.
Mm-hmm.
It's impacting, resident care, staff morale, the finances, everything.
Absolutely. It all comes back to that mismatched referral.
Yeah. But thankfully, this series, this hidden costs series,
Yeah.
they give us some solutions.
Yes, they do.
Some actual practical things that can be done. And one of the big ones is
Yes.
having some clear referral criteria.
Absolutely. Making it very upfront, what types of residents the facility can best serve.
So how would that work, practically speaking?
Well, I mean, you have to define specific admission criteria,
Yeah.
based on care needs,
Okay.
cognitive abilities, maybe even behavioral considerations. Like if a facility specializes in dementia care,
Right.
their criteria are going to be totally different from a place that focuses on, let's say, post-surgical rehab.
So it's like being upfront and saying, this is what we're good at.
Right. Making sure it's a good fit from the get-go.
Yeah. Yeah. And they also talk a lot about, communication, keeping those lines open with the referral sources.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Communication is essential. Facilities need to be talking to hospitals, doctors, social workers, making sure everybody understands what the facility can do and what they maybe, can't do as well.
So it's a two-way street. It's a partnership.
Exactly.
And, I always love when tech can come in and help us out and make things a little easier.
Yeah.
And the series mentions these referral management tools. I was wondering if you could maybe give us an example of like what that looks like.
Sure, yeah. So imagine like a software program
Okay.
that can take a resident's medical records, their care needs, and compare it to the facility's services, their staff expertise, the resources they have available.
Wow.
And it can flag potential mismatches right away.
Oh, that's amazing. So it's like a safety net built right into the process.
Exactly. And it can also analyze trends and see where there might be room for improvement. So, for example, if a facility is constantly getting referrals for residents with needs they can't really meet, they can use that data to adjust their marketing or their outreach and, make sure they're reaching the right people.
Data-driven decisions.
Always a good thing.
Always a good thing. I love it. Now, speaking of tech, we can't ignore this how do they say it? The elephant in the room?
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe in this case, the lumberjack in the room.
Okay.
This lumberjack AI.
Yes.
It's getting a lot of buzz. Could you break down for us how it's supposed to work?
So the lumberjack AI is basically designed to power through all the paperwork that comes along with referrals. It can identify high-risk conditions really quickly. It can point out potential staffing issues.
Okay.
And it gives facilities a complete overview of the residents' needs.
So it's not about replacing humans, is it? It's more about
No, not at all.
giving them a tool.
Right. It's about making the whole process more efficient.
Right, and making them more sure of their decisions.
Exactly. It lets the staff focus on what really matters, which is, providing that personalized care.
That human touch.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it sounds like, what we're learning here is that these referral decisions, they're not just like, boxes to check off on a form. They have really big consequences.
Oh, yeah, huge.
For everyone involved.
Everyone, yeah.
And it's really about optimizing this process.
Yes.
So facilities can make sure they're creating a good environment for the residents.
Absolutely.
That they're keeping their staff, from burning out. And that they're, making sure the facility can even survive in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. It's all connected.
You got it. And at the end of the day, it's about remembering that every referral is a person.
Yes.
It's a human life.
Absolutely.
And we got to make sure that life is well cared for.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, I think that brings us to the end of our deep dive today.
Yeah, I think so.
So for all of you listening out there, keep those wheels turning, and we'll catch you next time for another deep dive.
See you then?
See you then.